Dan Bilzerian's life has long been presented as the ultimate playboy fantasy, a non-stop whirlwind of luxury, wild parties, exotic cars, private jets, and a seemingly endless parade of beautiful women. Scroll through his social media accounts, and you'll find an endless stream of photos showing him living a life many only dream about. Yachts docked at glamorous marinas, private islands filled with friends, pools surrounded by models, and lavish mansions dripping in opulence. To millions, Dan Bilzerian appeared to be the embodiment of success without limits. A modern-day king of Instagram who made it all look effortless. But scratch beneath the surface and the picture begins to unravel. Behind the glitz and glamour lies a story that's far less about self-made fortune and more about inherited wealth, carefully constructed illusions, and personal struggles hidden behind a mask of bravado. This is the real story of Dan Bilzerian, a life built on a fake, rich playboy fantasy. Dan was born in 1980 in Tampa, Florida, into a family that carried its own share of notoriety and wealth. His father, Paul Bilzerian, was a corporate takeover specialist who earned millions in the high-stakes world of 1980s mergers and acquisitions. Paul's aggressive business tactics earned him a fortune, but also drew the attention of the SEC and resulted in legal battles that cost him heavily. These early family dynamics and the legal controversies surrounding his father had a profound impact on Dan's upbringing, both shielding him with wealth and exposing him to a turbulent world behind closed doors. Growing up surrounded by privilege, Dan was expected to inherit significant wealth and enjoy a life of comfort. Yet his path diverged from traditional expectations. After graduating from college, he gravitated toward the world of professional poker, where he aimed to make a name for himself based on skill and daring rather than family money. Poker became the lens through which the public first glimpsed his personality: bold, daring, unapologetically flamboyant, and seemingly unafraid to take massive risks. Dan's poker career was, however, clouded by controversy and skepticism. While he boasts about winning millions at the tables, insiders and skeptics have questioned the veracity of these claims. Unlike professional poker legends with transparent tournament records, much of Dan's reported winnings come from private games and cash matches, making it difficult to verify the scale of his success. This ambiguity fueled speculation that his poker winnings were supplemented, if not overshadowed, by the fortune from his family trust. Social media proved to be the game-changer in Dan Bilzerian's rise to fame. Platforms like Instagram gave him a megaphone to broadcast his extravagant lifestyle in vivid detail. His account exploded with millions of followers, drawn by the tantalizing glimpse into a life many aspire to but few achieve. Each photo and video was carefully curated to show the most extravagant moments. Luxury yachts sailing through crystal-clear waters, opulent parties on private islands, and poolside scenes filled with models, cocktails, and smiles. This relentless stream of luxury created an image of success and indulgence that was hard to ignore. Dan Bilzerian quickly earned the nickname King of Instagram, symbolizing a new breed of celebrity whose fame was built on showcasing wealth and excess online. However, the dazzling surface of Dan's life conceals a much more complicated truth. Behind the scenes, reports and investigations revealed that much of Dan's fortune was not generated from poker winnings or savvy business deals, but was in fact largely funded by his family trust. This revelation cast doubt on the idea that Bilzerian was a self-made man who rose through talent and risk-taking alone. Instead, it painted a picture of someone who had inherited significant wealth and leveraged it to build and maintain his extravagant lifestyle. In many ways, this reality challenges the narrative that social media often promotes, that wealth and glamour are purely the result of individual grit and entrepreneurship. Dan's extravagant spending and unapologetic indulgence have also sparked numerous controversies. His public persona frequently promotes a hypermasculine, materialistic image that has drawn criticism for perpetuating superficial values and objectifying women. Legal issues, including lawsuits related to parties, accidents, and public behavior, have followed him, adding layers of complexity to his public image. Critics argue that his lifestyle glamorizes recklessness and excess without regard for consequences, creating a problematic example for impressionable followers. Moreover, behind the flashing lights and wild parties, Dan Bilzerian's personal life reveals further struggles. He has spoken candidly at times about injuries sustained from dangerous hobbies such as extreme sports and firearms training. Additionally, there have been hints of mental health challenges and the pressures of maintaining an image that often feels larger than life. These insights remind us that behind the curated social media posts lies a human being facing real vulnerabilities, contradicting the carefree persona he projects online. Bilzerian's story is also a cautionary tale about the power and pitfalls of social media in shaping public perceptions. Digital platforms have created spaces where image often trumps reality, where followers engage with carefully edited highlights rather than the full picture. For many, Dan's life is aspirational. For others, it's a facade built on borrowed wealth and selective storytelling. His experience highlights how social media can blur the lines between authentic success and illusion, making it difficult to discern truth from performance. While Dan Bilzerian's lifestyle dazzles and entertains millions, it also raises important questions about what real success looks like. True wealth and fulfillment extend beyond flashy photos and viral posts. They require authenticity, meaningful relationships, and a sense of purpose that can't be bought or displayed on Instagram. Dan's life challenges us to think critically about the stories we consume and the values we celebrate. As social media continues to evolve, the line between reality and fantasy will likely become even more blurred. Dan Bilzerian's story serves as a reminder to look deeper, question narratives, and seek genuine stories behind the glamour. Whether you view him as a symbol of aspiration or a cautionary figure, his life is undeniably a reflection of our times. The age of digital celebrity, curated personas, and the complex interplay between image and reality. It's also worth noting how Dan has leveraged his persona into various business ventures. He has invested in companies, launched a CBD product line, and created branded merchandise. Yet despite these efforts, much of his brand's power still rests on his cultivated image of wealth and adventure. The line between entrepreneur and influencer blurs in his case, raising questions about the authenticity of success in the social media era. Critically, the conversation around Dan Bilzerian also touches on gender dynamics and cultural values. His posts often celebrate hypermasculinity and an extravagant lifestyle centered around women's appearances, raising debates about respect, objectification, and societal impact. These discussions force audiences to reflect on how celebrity culture influences norms and behaviors. From another angle, Dan's story reflects the broader cultural fascination with wealth and excess. Society often idolizes those who flaunt luxury, yet rarely examines the foundations beneath the surface. Bilzerian's life highlights how much of modern fame and fortune can be constructed through savvy self-promotion rather than purely through traditional success markers like business achievements or innovation. In many ways, Dan Bilzerian exemplifies the contradictions of the digital age. His life is at once enviable and problematic, thrilling and troubling. It's a world where appearances can be deceiving, where the spectacle often outshines substance, and where identity can be crafted and recrafted for millions of watchers online. Despite all this, Dan remains unapologetic. He embraces the persona he has built and continues to live on his own terms. Whether loved or criticized, he's a figure who commands attention, and his story isn't likely to fade anytime soon. Thank you for joining us on this Inside Look at Dan Bilzerian's life, the fake rich playboy fantasy exposed. If you found this video eye-opening, please like, share, and comment below with your thoughts. Is Dan a self-made icon, a lucky heir, or something in between? What do you think about the role of social media in shaping such lifestyles? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories, peeling back the layers behind fame and fortune. See you next time.